Well, welcome to the podcast today. And yes, we have a very special guest. We have the CEO, Chief Financial Officer, and General Office Manager, you name it, of Lansdowne Property Group Buyers Agents. How are you, Rachel?
I'm fabulous. Jack of all trades, master of none.
No worries at all. Just we're going to debunk and blow up some of the myths people think about buyers agents today, because a lot of people think they know and a lot of people don't know what a buyers agent is. Firstly, how long have you been doing this?
So we've been doing this this is our second year doing Lansdowne Property Group Buyers Agents here. We're based here in the Macarthur area in Sydney. For those of you who are not from Sydney, we actually live in a beautiful little suburb called Elderslie. We've been here for 14 years, been out in the area for 30, so well entrenched.
So a couple of the biggest questions you get asked all the time. Buyers agents, are they independent or do they only work with a couple of real estate agents?
No, we're totally independent. We don't belong to an agency. We're not beholden to work with one particular agent. We don't belong to like a major corporation. We're Lansdowne Property Group. It's Rob and I and Millie, the director of Pet Experience, is on my lap. We can work with any agent across the country. Obviously, we have strong relationships with the agents that we do know here in the Macarthur area and that we work with all the time. But we can see any house, any house, any investment, any commercial property, anywhere in Australia.
So most professional buyers agents aren't linked to a real estate agent office, are they? They're independent.
No, there are some real estate agents who have cottoned on to how valuable it is to have a buyer's agent and actually have in-house buyer's agents. So I would say they're not independent, even though they do like to say they are. Some
people would say that they'd just be pushing their own listings.
Potentially, but they would still probably go and see independent houses, but they would obviously look at the listings of the agency that they work for first.
Right. So everyone who follows TV sees the American, sees England, about who pays a buyer's agent and who doesn't. It used to be the case in America until the 1st of July 2024, which it all changes, that the seller paid the selling agent and the buyer's agent. They've now changed the law in America where it's up to the seller if he chooses to pay the buyer's agent, or a buyer's agent has to be paid by the buyer. In Australia, who pays the buyer's agent, and does a buyer's agent get, as well as that, a commission from the real estate agent who's selling the property?
Our client pays us. That's where our payment comes from. It's from our client who, does a deal with us, that signs a contract. They know exactly how much we're going to charge them up front. Obviously, we charge a retainer, and on settlement, we actually then charge the remainder of the fee. We don't receive any commissions from the real estate agent. It's illegal in this country to do so, particularly in New South Wales. I think we have one of the strongest real estate laws that there actually are in New South Wales. It's very hard to become an agent here.
It's illegal, from my understanding, to take a commission off the same property transaction.
That's correct.
So you can be paid by one side or the other. You can't be paid by both, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
So in buyers agents world, what is, especially in an agency of this size, what's the optimum number of clients you take on at any one time to maintain your customer focus?
So we can keep our level of customer focus and engagement, and we can actually produce what we say we're going to produce with our clients. We take a maximum 4 clients a month.
Right.
So 4 clients any one time, and we don't take on the same scope for those clients. So each of our clients will have different requirements. One might be looking at a commercial property, one might be looking at investment, one might want a 2-bedroom townhouse or a unit, one might want a house with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, or they might want a 3-bedroom. So it's completely different. So we never cross the properties. So and we actually, make sure that we're actually doing the right thing by our clients, looking at the properties that we do look for.
So you won't take on a competing brief with 2 people for the same house?
No, definitely not. And I know that, some people do think we do that, but we don't. Wow. It's a no-no. It's not fair to your client. And it's just, what all you are, it's your, you're just a used car salesman. Sorry if you're doing that.
Yeah, well, every industry has them.
Yeah.
There's no industry. So,
and we've got heaps of them.
So what's the difference between an on-market and off-market property? So people say, I'm buying off-market, I'm buying pre-market, and I'm buying on-market.
Okay, so off-market's completely off-market. The vendor does have a strong relationship with the real estate agent, and maybe they've bought and sold with them previously and trust them. So look, we really want to sell. We want to test the market. We know what the figure we want in mind, and we know the time frame for when we want to sell it. So those properties are gold if you can get them, and sometimes they are just offered to buyers agents because we do bring the pre-qualified buyer. So an on-market property is obviously it's on market, and yes, you can go on domain.com.au and realestate.com.au and search it out. And then you have pre-market, and that's when you can actually, as a buyer's agent, get in before it actually hits the market.
I think you actually said before you're going to see one of them tonight.
We are, 6 o'clock tonight. We're seeing a property for a client. So we're hoping that we can get in and have a good feel for it, and then get our client back before it then hits the market. Because we know the area that we are looking in Sydney is hotly contested.
So why is it that buyers agents get access to off-market properties when Joe Public doesn't?
I think it's the fact the relationship that we do have with the real estate agents, and the fact that we do bring qualified buyers. So not saying that if you don't work with a buyer's agent, you're not qualified. What I'm saying is that with people who come and sign a contract with us and take us on as their buyer's agent, you must be finance approved, or you must actually have the money in the bank ready to go. And that's because we don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time, because our time it's just as valuable as what your time is. And we don't want to burn the relationship with our real estate agents, because that's really important in our industries to maintain those relationships and to keep growing them.
So, and also heard that a lot of off markets are people who are private.
Yes.
Like many of the people who come to a buyer's agent, and they don't want people down the road knowing their business.
That's correct.
Or they're a well-known person, or someone who's been quite successful in life, and they choose to trade that way. And I know in the inner city of Sydney, in the wealthy suburbs of Brisbane and Melbourne, off-market is quite common, the way people trade a property.
And you'll always hear, after, once the property has settled, and it does, and you can say you can disclose the sale price, but you can only do that until it's actually been once it's been stamped with the titles office, then it becomes public knowledge. So you can't seal it. But then you hear people who are rich and famous and celebrities, they want to do that because they don't want people knowing what their business is. Obviously, it can come out 2 months later, but they've left the property and they've moved on. But while the transaction's happening, they want everything to be very quiet and be very, very private.
So for what we call the vanilla version of a buyer's agent's package, which is a husband and wife with a family wants a buyer's agent to find them a new family home, they're moving interstate, or they just aren't confident in the negotiation side, and they say, look, Rach, we want a new home, we want a pool, we need a bigger home, this is our budget of 1.3 million. What does a client get with the package of a pretty standard generic package with a buyer's agent?
So you obviously get our services. So my background is in research, so I will actually do the research. And no, I don't do realestate.com.au or domain.com.au or whatever the fancy real estate websites that are popping up at the moment. We actually do pay for our subscriptions to, like Suburbs Finder and Price Finder. And there's
a whole lot of industry only ones.
There's several that we do use. And obviously in CoreLogic, so making sure that that the property does meet your brief. But we actually then, we don't just look at the house, we look at the locality, because as they say, location is everything. We're also fortunate that we have access to a town planner, so we can actually utilise their services to make sure what's being developed in the area, what is permissible in the area, depending on whether or not you buy a large block. Are you able to put a granny flat on it, subject to council approval? So we can look at all those things. So with our buyer's agency and with the relationship that we do have, we've got a town planner, a conveyancer, building inspectors. So we virtually are a one-stop shop for our clients. They don't have to outsource any of that. And we actually stay with them we don't just, find you the home, you exchange and buy. We're with you to settle it. We actually, if you're buying here in Sydney, we attend the final inspection with you, or we do it on your behalf to make sure that, what is actually on the contract, what you're actually buying is actually there, that nothing has changed in the property. There's been no damage made to it when the person's moving out. So we actually be able to hold your hand during that process as much as the client wants us to do.
So a couple of quick things there. When someone comes to someone like you and wants to buy an investment property in Perth or Queensland, and you have bought in Queensland,
yes,
you're based in Sydney. So how do you select the property, and who goes and inspects it?
that's where your relationships and your networks are vital. So if you physically can't be there to inspect it, then we have a buyer's agent network across the country. We are growing, and we actually rely on them to actually do the physical inspection for us. If need be, we'll get in the car, we'll get in the plane, we'll actually go and do it for the client, depending on the location and where it is, and whether or not, it warrants it. But 9 times out of 10, we can rely on our buyer's agent network, and they'll do it for us. They won't do it for free. No one works for free.
No one works for free.
So it is a cost, but it's not a further cost to our client. It actually comes out of the what we actually do charge our client.
So would you say that most buyer's agents get party to a lot more information than just someone turning up at an open home?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can have a quiet conversation with a real estate agent, and get a feel for. Obviously, they can't
breach any confidence.
They can't breach any confidence. And we are, at the end of the day, we are real estate agents. So we do the same training as what they do. We're bound by the same ethics and codes that they are, the same legislation. So we can have a general conversation that they normally wouldn't do when they're having a conversation to someone who's just coming in to buy without a buyer's agent.
And was that because the buyer's agents only bring qualified customers through?
I think so, and I think it's because we are in the industry. So they can say certain words and terms, and we can interpret that. And I think also because we see so many open homes, we've also got a feel to what's actually gone on in the home and why it's being sold. I can pick a divorced home just by stepping into it. I don't know what it is. I have a inbuilt radar when it comes to that. So whether or not we need to get the sage out and sage the house before we buy it for the client.
No, you just don't buy the house,
don't buy the house, yeah. So yeah.
So finally, last 2 questions. If someone is looking to buy the house themselves, they don't want to use a buyer's agent, and they're smart, they're not listening to Uncle Ben and Uncle Bobby.
Or Auntie Joan.
Or Auntie Joan, who bought property 40 years ago and don't realise that things have changed. What's 2 quick tips you would give someone who's going out this weekend, doesn't matter where you are in the country, to start the journey of looking for their property?
I would, if you're looking at the house, if you haven't already gone and seen the house that you're interested in, always do a drive-by on a Sunday, because you could actually tell how many cars are going to fit in the street. Depending on the area, it could be quite a narrow street, and if there's lots of cars parked, maybe not. Just trust your instinct when you actually go, and don't let your heart overrule your head. Most important. And that's how we come in, is because for us it's a transaction. Yes, we are buying your home, we're buying you an investment, but we take all the emotion out of it. We're actually looking at, what does this house meet your brief at this point in time, and is it suitable for your lifestyle at this point in time? I always talk about your house needs changes as your life changes. So for us as a couple, when we had our children, we needed a bigger home. And then as the kids were teenagers, we put the pool in. Then they got older. We moved to a house that didn't have a pool. And we're actually, at the moment, we live in quite a big house with just 2 people and a dog and the occasional grandchild.
And ghosts too, when they come and go. Please tell us if you're watching this on video and you see someone walk behind us, because there's no one else in the house.
So I'm a big believer in that your house should actually suit your current lifestyle, not for what your lifestyle is going to be in 10 years' time, because you can always trade up or downsize. And we'll talk about downsizing for another day, because I'm quite passionate about downsizing and what I believe it equals, and it doesn't equal a retirement home.
And we're not going to be sponsored by the local retirement village when we do that one.
No.
Well, thanks everyone. We've got a couple of great other interviews already booked in the can. We're going to be doing heaps of these for the next 12 months. And after listening, if you've got an idea of something you want us to cover, or someone you want us to get in and interview, just drop us a line here at the landstandpropertygroup.com.au, or on these YouTube, or wherever you're listening to in the audio, and we'll do our best to get hold of that person and get them in. Thanks, Rach, for sharing all your information about what a buyer's agent
was.
Just
want to add one more thing. If you do have a question, you can drop us a message on our Facebook or Instagram. We're also on TikTok. And we can come back to you. We might respond, automatically, depending on what we're doing and where we actually are. But there's never a stupid question.
Not in property,
you
no.
don't know what you don't know. So the better informed you are with regards to property. And at the moment in Australia, the property laws are changing every state. Every state is reviewing their property laws. Queensland's about to come into the new laws on the 1st of July. So it's really important that if you are buying out in other states on your own, that you're fully aware of the regulations of what you can and can't do, and what you need. Particularly when you're buying in Western Australia, they have very stringent rules with regards to when you are buying. Yeah. So if you're not aware of that, you need to inform yourself, or you need to get a buyer's agent.
Get a buyer's agent and get yourself a solicitor or a conveyancer before you start the journey.
Yes.
Because between the two of them, they'll know the contract law, they'll know the rules in each state. And as we've found out, I know with one client living in New South Wales and buying in Queensland, and one side wanted to apply one set of rules, one side wanted to apply the other set of rules, and we made them go with the rules that were legal.
Yeah.
So buyer beware, as they say. You have a great week, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep. Ciao, guys.
Bye now.